may see us and they may never. And that's okay, because if we see ourselves first, that is really all that matters. And we see that we can create the table, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I love that.
So passionate about that.
No, I can tell. I can tell. It's coming from your heart, and it just makes sense. It just makes perfect sense. You know, everything you're feeling is so validated or so valid, and that as a community of people in film, people in the arts can take it upon them to just be better. To just be better, you know?
Yeah.
Let's do right by you and by other Black actresses who don't see themselves.
Absolutely.
Let's just be better. And I vow, as a producer now, because that's something that I've been doing, I think it's, you know, this movement, which has been going on for so long, but now I think it's like, now that I'm old enough to actually grasp it, understand, digest it, learn from it, grow from it, I'm like, I'm so on board with telling your story, and whoever wants to tell their story, you know, it's like, it doesn't have to be a story about a Black girl. It can just be a story about a girl. Like, there's humanity in all of it and in all of us. It doesn't have to have a fucking Black girl label on it. Like, it's just, we're just girls.
Literally.
And I think that's so important. Like, I would, yeah.
I think that, you know, you're so right. And it speaks to, like, the dangers of, like, when you do things, and not you, but the industry does things, and it's like, it's a Black project, it's a Black movie. It's like, no, like, stop othering us, you know? Our stories are rich and beautiful and lush, and there's more to us, you know? And I think Maya Angelou, this is one of my favorite quotes because it always inspires me to, like, write when I don't want to. But Maya Angelou said that there's no greater agony than an untold story inside of you. And I say that in two different ways. I want people to know that Black people, marginalized people, Black people want to use our voices. We just want to speak. We just want to exist the same way George Floyd wanted to live, Breonna Taylor wanted to live. You know, I was watching the memorial for George Floyd where Reverend Al Sharpton spoke about, you know, what Black people feel in the Western world. And it's this idea that we all feel like we have this knee on our neck, like we literally can't breathe, like we just want to speak, we want to exist in all the ways that means, you know? And I think about that a lot, because it's like, you know, we're not asking for anything unique except the ability to speak and to exist and to use our voices. And so I say that in that aspect, but I also say it in the sense, again, to people watching and to young girls, you know, Black, brown, white, whatever, to tell their stories, because their voices matter, that they are powerful, that they have so much to contribute. You know, I remember being a kid and always just wanting to be in this industry because, as I said, I'm like so emotional, a little Scorpio, just wanting to like tell my emotions to the world. And I want those little girls, those little boys, you know, non-gender conforming, whoever, to know that there's so much value in who they are, and that there's nothing that they lack, that they matter, that they can show up to the table. I want them to know they can come as they are. They can come as they are, and they can speak, and that their stories are so, so valuable, and not just because it's like diverse, but that it truly does bring value to the table. And, you know, I think we have a responsibility as a global community, as I said, to just start to see each other more, to humanize each other more, and to find our power, you know, to use our power. And, you know, I encourage as well white allies who are watching, you know, people who do want to be a part of this whole movement, to know that it's about more than even just amplifying voices. It truly is like what we do in our waking lives. If you are in the workplace, you know, speak up when you see injustice. Speak up when if you see something happening to someone that you wouldn't want to happen to yourself, you can use your voice. And that goes for even me, like anybody who has power in any way. I think it's so important that we begin to use our power in our daily lives, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's a beautiful message, and I hope that people take that with them when they watch this, when they watch you speak, when they watch my lives, when they're learning about them, educating themselves, when they're going to protests, whatever the case may be. We're one human race.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line.
Period.
Period.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Vote. Use your voice.
Please.
Vote. Please vote. You know, my mom was like, make sure you tell them to vote. So vote.
Yes.
Use your voice and know that your stories bring value and that you don't need anyone to validate that or stamp it for you. Write your story, you know? Yeah, that's it.
Well,
that's all.
Thank you so much for speaking, Asha. I really, everything you said was so, just, you could tell, obviously, you speak from the heart about this, and you're so passionate about it, and you're so passionate about diversifying our world, our industry, all the industries. And I think you have my word that I'm going to do better and the best that I, to my ability as a producer, as a filmmaker, as whatever I end up being, that I'm going to
absolutely
implement what I've learned over this, even just this week, these past 2 weeks. It's been pretty eye-opening and life-changing, and I think I hope others will follow suit.
I absolutely agree. And thank you for having me. I think this is so wonderful. And, you know, I'm excited to see what other voices you amplify in the next few weeks. And, you know, I really strongly believe that this is how change happens, right? It's having these uncomfortable conversations and these honest conversations. And so just thank you for showing up to have the conversation, because not a lot of people do. And so I'm proud of both of us.
Yes, I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Asha.
Thanks, Lili. Awesome. Yay.
Stay well, stay safe. Stay well, I guess.
Stay well, stay safe, and Black Lives Matter.
And vote.
Exactly, and vote.
Have a good
Bye, Lili.
Bye.
You too. Bye.